Hello, hello, my brave hearts. How is everybody doing? Yes, today's Tuesday morning. We're going to do a coffee talk. I am waiting for my beautiful Braveheart alumni, Chelsey, to join us. And when Chelsey joins us, then we're going to get started. How's everyone doing? Frank, how are you? Brandon, how are you? So great to see you all. So exciting. I decided, as everyone's joining, there we go. Nebraska. Okay, how do I add someone? Let's see. View request, go live. Chelsey, you did that yourself. That was cool.
Yay!
Chelsey! So excited to see your face. Beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I can't believe you just dropped that bomb on me right before we went live. I'm like so excited. I love you, number one, for doing that because that's so fun. But number two, before we tell everyone what's going on, let's talk about some other things first. Warm up the floor. Does that sound good?
That sounds really good.
So good to see you. Okay, so I'm going to start off by just telling everyone what we're doing. So I originally thought it would be super fun to have conversations with my Braveheart alumni. And one of my biggest things that I love doing and what I love talking about is I love helping people heal their hearts so that they can go on and help heal the world in their own unique ways. And it's been really interesting seeing all of the different Bravehearts and all these different alumni, finish with their heartbreak, go on and have amazing epic lives. But what's also been an added layer that I just think is so cool is how they've gone on to help heal other people in a bunch of different modalities. We've got writers, we've got cooks, we've got all kinds of people doing all kinds of things, coaches even. And so I, number one, just wanted to catch up with some of my Bravehearts who I haven't talked to in a long time. And then number two, thought it would be fun to bring them on here and have them talk about not only their journey, we'll spend a little bit of time on their journey, but how they're doing in life now and how they've continued to apply everything that we've done together throughout the rest of their life. And Chelsey is a beautiful example of this. And Chelsey, this was kind of fun, is I have someone in my current program who knows you. And she was like, I know Chelsey. I was like, that's so cool. I love that so much. So I actually am going to start from the very beginning, Chelsey, because I think you know some of these things, but I don't know if you know all of them. Okay. Someone just mentioned I had to pause your podcast when I got the Dorothy going live alert. That's amazing. So fun. Okay. So I met Chelsey, gosh, forever ago, so long. I don't even remember our very first call, when it was. It was definitely over a year ago. And she was one of my very first clients. You were one of my very first Bravehearts. And it was just I have such a warm place for you in my heart. It's you, Michelle, Tila, Katie, and then I'm forgetting one. It was the five of us in the Next Chapter program, where it's just I feel like you guys are my core Bravehearts who were there in the beginning. And so what's really fun about Chelsey is I've become I feel like I've become really good friends with you throughout that entire process of we healed your heart. We went through that entire transformation, but I think it's an added layer of being able to keep up with you afterwards and know what's going on in your life and seeing everything that unfolded then impact how your life is now. So let's talk a little bit about that. I guess I wanted to start just kind of mentioning how we met. I also think it's really funny because at the time, I don't think I was using Zoom. I think when we first started coaching, if we were using Zoom, we didn't get on the phone. And I remember we didn't see each other face to face. Isn't that crazy to think about? I didn't see your face. I didn't know what Chelsey looked like until we had been working together for around 6 months or something. And
even longer than that.
Yeah. And I think I even saw a picture of you first before I saw you. And I was like, oh my God, I had this whole different. I don't know. I thought you had darker hair. Like, I don't know. It was so weird. It was just so funny. Like going back, thinking about what you looked like in my mind versus what you actually look like. And so it's just so funny. So talk to me about your experience, kind of just, and however much you feel comfortable sharing, but like share your experience of like what led you to like search and find a breakup coach. And also, I didn't have the podcast. How in the world did you find me?
So I think honestly, I have found all my best people in my life via hashtags.
I love it.
That's how I found my current hairdresser. That's how I found my lash lady, my eyebrow gal. Mm-hmm. So I think I started searching hashtags, and you had like the breakup coach, getting over a breakup, all kinds of hashtags. And so that's what led me to your profile. And then I started looking at your different posts and pictures. And then I looked at your website, which has also evolved in the past, I honestly think it's been 3 years.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I started back in like I got certified at the end of 2018. And I want to say you found me beginning mid of 2019.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So crazy.
I know. Yeah, I found you via hashtags. So I was like,
lots of things have evolved, including how people find me. I wonder how many people find me via hashtags now. That's too funny. Okay. I love that. Yeah. So tell me more. Tell us more about what happened. You were searching me via hashtags. What happened?
So I was in the middle of like a breakup / I didn't really know what it was. Mm-hmm. And I just needed to find a way to get out of my head. So you and I had that first phone call, and I think you basically said, yeah, we don't need to focus on him and what's going on with whatever it is. What do you want to work on? Like, what do you want to grow and get out of this? And I was like, shit, I don't know, Dorothy. I was calling about a breakup.
Yeah, I'm like, it literally has nothing to do with him. I remember that too, because there was a lot of like back and forth between like you wanting him to change. Like you were like, here's the deal, Dorothy. I'm thinking about getting back together with him, but I don't know, and I don't see myself being able to get back together with him if he doesn't change these things. That's what I remember. And I was like, yeah, boo, we can't change him.
I was like, but what do you mean we can't?
You're like, there's definitely a way we can fix this. I know. But that was the beauty of it too. So tell people kind of like what happened. What was we don't have to spend too much time on this, but like tell us a little bit about kind of your biggest epiphanies or your biggest ahas, and then tell everyone kind of what happened, because you ended up getting engaged and married, and it was such a beautiful experience.
So one thing I never really realized is I'm definitely an empath. I'm a very emotional person. Mm-hmm. I'm very sensitive to other people, which is great in my career. It mm-hmm. helps me to relate to people. It helps me to want to help people. Can kind of be a double-edged sword when it comes to relationships. I thought my emotions, I basically had no control of my emotions. You know, they were what they were. And it took a bit for it to click. I think it was around 5 weeks of working with you that mm-hmm. it finally clicked of, no, I can control my emotions. Like mm-hmm. I create these emotions based on what I'm thinking. And that was just such a game changer. I even remember you had me do an exercise where I had to sit with an emotion and then mm-hmm. like dissect it.
Yeah.
And I'd never done that before. And that mm-hmm. was huge. I mean, emotional control was a game changer for me because I'd always been run by my emotions. I mean, it's kind of hard when you have a lot of feelings and emotions. And mm-hmm. so being able to control them, I mean, I think that was probably the biggest thing I took away from your program, that and I can make anything I want, you know. Yeah.
I can create any art that I want. And you showed that to yourself time and time again. It was so cool. You had so many like real life examples of that.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. I would say I would not have done at least 75% of the things I have now had I not done the program.
That's so crazy to think about, Chelsey. That is like literally mind blowing. What are some of the results that you created that you wanted to, when you realized, so many things going on in my brain at once. You know this about me.
It's in
The
the
first,
morning.
yeah, right, it is. And I'm not having coffee. I'm on this like detox thing, so I'm not having coffee. I'm having tea, and it's like a whole other thing. So the emotional control thing, absolutely 100% game changer. I used to be someone who instantly would react to my emotions, which like would explode relationships sometimes. So I feel you with that. And then the second part with all the different results, like learning that you can actually create and you're in control of the things that you want to create. What are some examples of that? Do you have examples?
I guess one of the biggest things I took away was how confidence can create results.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge for me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it came to career-wise. I'd kind of always just been at the effect of what other people wanted for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm very much so a people pleaser, which is okay to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing I really learned, was that what is the result I want to create, and feeling confident helped me create that.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, it made a world of difference. Even now, I have another fun surprise for you. I've been working with a company out here in addition to having my own business right now. But it kind of became clear that I wasn't being paid what I was worth. And so I just made the switch yesterday and got a huge pay increase with another company, just because I was like, I know I'm worth more than this.
Look at that. You guys, pause. I know I'm worth more than that. Makes her feel confident and secure and certain. And when she feels that way, she shows up that way, and she creates the result of a confident, secure job where she gets what she deserves.
I know. That's why I was like, I don't think I would have 75% of the things that I have now had I not done the program. So.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so also let's just chit chat to you a little bit, because you did the Next Chapter program, which is a program that I've never run again. I'm gonna run it again, but there's just such an influx of the Get Over Your Ex program that it's like a whole other thing. So it will happen again. I'm thinking I'm going to do like a mastermind style, and we still have to do an in-person retreat, which you are absolutely coming to. And one thing, I guess I want to like tell everyone about your life. So first off, tell everyone what you do. How do you help people? How do you help the humans? Tell everyone about your life. I want to hear about your puppies. I wrote down their names, Rocco and Izzy, because one of them you got in an engagement. Tell everyone about your engagement. Like, I want to hear all the things. Tell us all the things.
So I'm a speech pathologist. So basically, I wanted to originally work with adults, but now I found that I really love kids, and that's my jam. So I help children learn how to communicate, basically. And one thing I learned when I was out in San Diego is I really love working with more severe kids. So ones that have behavior problems, ones that really have a difficult time communicating. And if you would have told me that would be like the heart of my population when I was in grad school, I would have laughed at you, because those kids scared me.
I feel like you also came to that conclusion while you were in the program as well. I feel like that was as we were working together that had come to you. Yeah, I remember that.
So that was one thing I really discovered. Gosh, I don't know. There's so much I can go into about everything. I guess I'll start before that. So working through the program, I started working with you, I think it was spring of 2019. Mm-hmm. And then Justin and I ended up getting back together and working through everything. And he'd been working on himself outside of our breakup, our split, whatever you want to call it. And it just worked for us.
Yeah.
So then.
And you had done all of that work on emotions, which allowed you to like have different kinds of conversations. Like your guys' relationship was so different based off of, and of course I didn't see it firsthand before the split, but the way you described your relationship before the split versus the way you describe your relationship now, so different.
It's completely different. And we were way more open to doing things to benefit our relationship by working on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, when I read different blogs about relationships and whatnot, it always comes down to you have to be ready with who you are before you can totally commit to a big relationship, a big marriage, anything. We didn't know that,
Yeah.
we bought into, well, we'll make it work together,
Yeah. Just like force these things together that are clearly not working. We'll make it work. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I don't know, when we just, got back together and started working on things, it made a world of difference. And by the time we gotten back together, we're like, yeah, we're ready to do this for the real deal. We're ready to put in the real work. And so, we kind of worked out the awkwardies of, we'd both told our families we'd broken up. We told our friends. So we had all those fun bridges to jump back through.
Mm-hmm. I remember some of those conversations. Yeah.
Super fun, super awkward. Don't recommend. But so I think it was that October he decided to pop the question. And
that was so yummy. That was such a yummy experience to
and I told
see
you, I
through.
remember telling him, I know he's gonna do it. I
Yeah.
know he's gonna do it. He's gonna go up and get this puppy. I know he's gonna do it.
And then later that evening, I got a picture of a puppy and a ring, and it was like the best thing ever.
Yep. It was a really great fall for us. I mean, we still had our boundaries and everything, which was nice because I don't think we had boundaries before.
Yeah.
But we were closer. So it was just really interesting how much our relationship evolved. Like, we recognized you have to take care of yourself first before you can put your all into a relationship. And just from there, I mean, don't get me wrong, it hasn't all been butterflies and whatnot. We got married in the middle of a pandemic.
I remember the beginning of the pandemic. I was like, Chelsey, you're fine. It's going to be fine. It's not fine.
Well, I remember joking with my kids in San Diego and making jokes about COVID and like, oh, you're going to bring COVID to the group. And I was like, I should not have been doing that.
We all learned a lot, still learning a lot. So.
Yeah, so we got engaged like 3 months before the pandemic hit. So that was quite the adventure. And I think that was when we started, was that when we started the first chapter?
Yeah, I'm like wondering if it was like the beginning or the end because, oh no, it was the beginning because I think the in-person retreat was supposed to happen in June and then the pandemic hit in March, like February, March. And I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. The in-person retreat's still on. And then all of us, like when the thing started shutting down in Boston, I was like, it's not fine. We're going to do a virtual event. And then whatever in-person retreat I do once the pandemic's done, you guys will be coming to. So yeah, but that'll be a whole thing. I'm actually very excited. I've already started like planning this in my mind about a Braveheart in-person event. And I want to have like a very fancy dinner with the people in the next chapter program where we go all out. It's gonna be fun.
I think that would be awesome.
Right.
I do. Because yeah, I think we started the next program that spring. And then by then I had become a full-time teletherapist. Thank you, COVID-19. And I decided to open my own business. So I started taking like a course geared specifically at private practice with speech therapy, which again is something I would have never invested in before, because I was like, oh, I'm never going to do that. It'll be fine. Turns out I did do it.
I'm so proud of you too. Having your own business is like a whole thing. And like, I remember all the conversations we had about that. So freaking proud of you.
I remember my situation being something about filing for an LLC for the longest time. And you're like, you're caught up on the wrong thing here.
I do remember this. It's like coming back because 100%. I was like, boo, it doesn't matter. The LLC.
That you're like, you're cut. No.
You're cut off. We're moving forward.
I was like, no, but really, Dorothy, like, no, this is not relevant.
Too good. Too good.
I'm trying to think of, but that was like another nice thing, that it wasn't just relationship advice I learned from you.
Yeah.
I mean, we worked on finances for a bit. We worked on opening a business. I mean, working with you like changed so much, which was awesome.
I love you. I appreciate that. I have like your notes pulled up here from like for us to like curate your caption from last week. And like the very first line you keep I say it time and time again, but working with Dorothy changed my life. And I'm like, I feel like that needs to be a tagline for Chelsey. Like Chelsey has like identified that tagline. Like every time I talk to you, that is what you say. And I like love you and appreciate you for that because that means the world to me. But I also want to come back on you and remember that you did that, not necessarily me.
Yeah.
You made that transformation for yourself and you came in and you got what you wanted. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. But I mean, Dorothy didn't pay me to brag on her, but she's awesome.
I love you. I love you. Thank you. Okay, so you've got your business, you've got your husband.
I did. And then I wanted to mention, because I had kind of talked about how I liked these more severe kiddos.
Yeah.
And in the middle of that, I guess I can kind of like parlay my way up here. So
Yeah.
we were in San Diego during the pandemic. I'd started my business. Then we moved in the middle of the pandemic. Also don't recommend.
You're like, let's move and get married all during the pandemic.
And buy a house.
Yeah.
Also don't recommend. But it worked out for us.
You had thought work, so you were able to do it.
We did. We just decided we were going to do it. And so we did it, and it came together beautifully. So got married fall of 2020. We social distance everyone. It was fine. But then I had decided, you know, I really, really like these severe kiddos. And there was this training out there that I really wanted to do, but it was $3,000. And it like was a huge commitment. I gone back and forth on it. I was like, Justin, I know we can afford this. You know, I took a better paying job because I wanted to be able to invest in myself and whatnot. So we looked at our finances and decided to make it how to work for me to take this training that I really wanted to do. This is not something I would have done before. I mean, I would have been like, oh, I'm a part of like a mass CEU website. I can just take, you know, a few different things off of there to help myself. But I really decided like, no, this is going to make me a better therapist. This is the population I want to work with. I know I can help so many families. And so I just did it.
Oh,
I know. So
I could cry.
And it has honestly changed the way I look at therapy. It's changed the way I relate to families. I've even had moms tell me like, I wouldn't have known he had these difficulties had we not had you as a therapist. So it's just funny how the little steps and things and getting the confidence to like invest in yourself can ultimately pay off to help others. I mean, it was crazy to me.
Oh, so good. Yeah, because you're literally doing, and I think the confidence also comes in line with like trusting that you know, like it's a combination of decision making and trusting yourself. Like deciding like this is what you're meant to do and then trusting that you have the ability to go out and do it and help people in the world. It's huge.
It really is. It really is.
That could make me cry. I'm like so excited for you that you did that and that you like went into that and then you've helped so many kids. Like that's amazing.
And just with that, it's opened different doors to what I can do. And even like I had to laugh because I had my interview for this new company last week and it went for an hour and a half long. I mean, I'm chatty, so that's not that surprising. But I just had enough to say and I was passionate about what I had to say. And they were like, yeah, from there on, we decided we had to have you. And so they met me on like everything that I wanted with demands and whatnot. So yeah, it really worked out.
I love that. And I remember we talked about salary for a while too before. And so, and I don't remember if it was like we talked about, I think we were talking about how to have conversations around it, and build your confidence around that. So did you feel confident going into it and having those conversations?
So I actually was very fortunate in that we didn't have to talk salary in person.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
And it wasn't until yesterday that we had that talk. But I actually did like some groundwork on it. Like Justin and I looked at our finances, discovered, you know, what we would need. And then I just went in with that. And I had told them, because it was lower than I had originally like calculated out. And I just said, you know, I love your company. I would love to work for your company, but this is my situation. And for me to make this switch, I would have to have this.
Yeah.
That's not something I would have said before.
Isn't
I
that
would
crazy?
have like floundered and been like, well, you know, maybe.
And you like prepped for it. You like, it's not like one of those things where you're just going in and demanding something. Like you prepped for it, you understand it, you feel confident and thorough in what the work that you've done to be able to come to a specific number. So proud of you. There's so many things. Oh, I love it.
Yep. But yeah, so I mean, I can't tell you what things would look like now had I not done the program. I mean, I really think probably confidence, believing in myself, the emotional control, it's made a world of difference.
So good. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about your life now, currently? You want to celebrate? You don't have to.
Now I'm getting a little bit stage fright, but I will just say I'm really excited for our next chapter. I
love that. So good.
I think it's going to be a good one. And hopefully within the next year or whatever, COVID will resolve itself. We don't have to keep living our lives contingent on COVID. So
right. I totally agree. And I'm also very excited for you and your next chapter. It's going to be phenomenal. I literally like, we need to chit chat after this, and I want to like talk all the things about that because I'm just so pumped for you.
Awesome. That sounds good.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on and doing a little chit chat with me. I wanted to catch up and just see your beautiful face and talk about how things are. So thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Chelsey.
All right.
Join her program.
Yeah, like just do it.
Just do it.
I love you. I appreciate you so much. It's so good to see your face, and I will talk to you later, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.